Make sure that you use AI responsibly, ethically, and for good outcomes. Hello! I'm excited to introduce you to new concepts that will help you learn how to use AI responsibly. Learning to use AI responsibly is a crucial part of experimenting with and using this technology. Responsible AI is the principle of developing and using AI ethically, with the intent of benefiting people and society while avoiding harm. To ensure people are treated fairly and respectfully, AI users must be aware of the limitations of AI tools and commit to using them ethically. An AI user is someone who leverages AI to complete a personal or professional task, like editing copy for a marketing campaign, brainstorming ideas for a nonprofit fundraiser, or discovering more effective ways to use a particular technology. AI can perform many tasks that help make work more productive, efficient, or engaging. But AI, to be clear, is not perfect. Humans are creative, logical, and compassionate. We have critical reasoning abilities and contextual understanding of our environment that AI systems lack. Consider how the autopilot feature functions in an airplane. Autopilot navigates from point A to point B, but the plane still needs a human pilot to make complex decisions. For instance, if weather forces the plane to make an emergency landing, the pilot will be the one to manage that situation and safely land the plane. In this scenario, autopilot is the system and the pilot is the user. Autopilot can handle a lot of the more technical aspects of keeping the plane in the air, but generally, flying the plane safely is the responsibility of the pilot. Similarly, AI tools can help with many basic tasks in the workplace. AI can be used to brainstorm ideas for a new product, outline a press release, suggest questions to ask during a focus group, and much more. But it cannot perform higher-level tasks like giving personalized performance feedback to an employee, or making a judgment about which candidate to hire, or providing therapy to a patient. AI works best when used as a complement to our uniquely human skills and abilities. As a member of the Responsible Innovation team, I use my human abilities to connect with colleagues, motivate teammates, and drive innovation responsibly. My name is Emilio, and I'm going to help you learn about what using AI responsibly means. In this section of the course, you'll learn about the biases that exist in AI models. Then, you'll examine the types of harms that are associated with AI and the importance of pairing the use of AI with human abilities like critical thinking and responsible decision-making. Finally, you'll discover some tips for maintaining privacy and security while experimenting with or using AI tools. Let's get started. AI is an inspiring tool that helps allow for new experiences, opportunities, and achievements. For instance, AI is used to help self-driving cars detect pedestrians on a busy road and predict the presence and severity of a medical condition. However, the fact that AI is beneficial is not a given. As a user who is aware of AI's potential biases and its limitations, you can help ensure responsible outcomes rather than harmful ones. AI models are trained on data created by humans, so they consist of values and are subject to bias. They can also sometimes produce inaccurate results. Because an AI model is trained on a dataset to recognize patterns and perform tasks, the model is only as good as the data it receives. The output from the AI tool may be affected by both systemic bias and data bias. Let's explore each of those now. First, systemic bias is a tendency upheld by institutions that favors or disadvantages certain outcomes or groups. Systemic bias exists within societal systems like healthcare, law, education, politics, and more. Even if the people who design and train an AI model think they're using high quality data, the data may already be biased because humans are influenced by systemic biases. Data bias is a circumstance in which systemic errors or prejudices lead to unfair or inaccurate information, resulting in biased outputs. Maybe you're developing a work presentation. You ask an AI image generator to create a photo of a CEO. All of the images generated appear to be white males. Based on this result, you might assume that all CEOs are white men. Obviously, this data is biased. Still, the more an AI model is trained with images of white men as CEOs, the more likely these models are to generate similarly biased outputs. Therefore, the more the data represents a wider variety of people, the more inclusive the outcome of the image generation will be. Just as AI models reflect the biases of the data used to train them, they also reflect the values of the people who design them. In other words, AI models are value-laden. For example, perhaps an AI engineer wants to help create more sustainable ways to generate energy. The engineer could use AI to build a tool that allows energy suppliers to increase their use of renewable resources. In this case, the AI tool was created based on the idea that society can and should make the most of solar and wind power sources, which is a reflection of the engineer's values. This focus means that the AI tool is not intrinsically value neutral. Other people may have different values about energy generation that are not reflected in this particular AI tool. Like most aspects of emerging technology, AI is not a perfect system. At present, it provides both opportunities and challenges, so using it responsibly requires critical thinking and an understanding about how data may be biased. In order to limit biases, drift, and inaccuracies, AI models require humans to take action, like retraining models on more diverse datasets and continuing to fine-tune them frequently. Humans must also consider the inadvertent harms associated with using these AI tools. Let's examine some of the types of harm that AI can cause if used irresponsibly. First is allocative harm. An allocative harm is a wrongdoing that occurs when an AI system's use or behavior withholds opportunities, resources, or information in domains that affect a person's well-being. For example, if AI tools don't provide the same information to everyone, some people may be denied access to education, healthcare, fair housing, or other opportunities. Maybe a property manager for an apartment complex uses an AI tool to screen applications for potential tenants. This AI tool uses the names and other identifying information on these applications to help conduct background checks. One applicant is deemed a risk because of a low credit score, so they are denied the apartment and they lose the application fee. Later, the property manager realizes the software had misidentified the applicant and ran a background check on the wrong person. In this example, the applicant has experienced an allocative harm because they were denied an opportunity and lost resources, both affecting their well-being. Another type of harm AI can cause is quality of service harm. Quality of service harm is a circumstance in which AI tools do not perform as well for certain groups of people based on their identity. When speech recognition technology was first developed, the training data didn't have many examples of speech patterns exhibited by people with disabilities. So the devices often struggled to parse this type of speech. But this technology is still evolving. The next type of harm is representational harm, an AI tool's reinforcement of the subordination of social groups based on their identities. For instance, the AI powering a language translation app might associate certain words with feminine or masculine traits and choose gender-specific translations based on those assumptions. Now, this is harmful because the result may be the erasure or alienation of social groups due to built-in biases. Another type of harm associated with AI is social system harm. This harm refers to macro-level societal effects that amplify existing class, power, or privilege disparities, or cause physical harm as a result of the development or use of AI tools. As AI-generated images become more realistic, there's concern about the spread of disinformation, including deepfakes. Deepfakes are AI-generated fake photos or videos of real people saying or doing things that they did not do. An example of a social system harm might be if a deepfake of a school board candidate showed that person saying something they didn't say. If it went viral, causing them to lose the election, that would impact voters' perspectives, the way parents feel about their school district, and the community in general. Because there would be disinformation being spread on a large scale, this would be a social system harm. Fortunately, new technology is being created to detect deepfakes. Some image-generating tools are putting digital watermarks on AI-generated images and videos to indicate who created them. Over time, deepfakes should become easier for computers to identify. AI users do need to be aware of the difficulty of distinguishing between AI-generated images and real images, and the consequences of creating these deepfakes. Sometimes people can share private information with an AI tool that could be misused by others, like locking someone out of an online account or surveilling them. These are examples of interpersonal harm, which is the use of technology to create a disadvantage to certain people that negatively affects their relationships with others, or causes a loss of one's sense of self and agency. All of these harms are examples of how using technology irresponsibly can negatively impact people and communities. If used without human intervention or critical thinking, AI can reinforce systemic bias, leading to unfair distribution of resources, the perpetuation of dangerous stereotypes, or the reinforcement of ongoing power dynamics. The good news is that AI tools are rapidly evolving based on feedback from users. That's why being aware of potential harm and negative outcomes is a first step to using AI responsibly. Hi, I'm Emilio. I work at Google, and I am a Responsible Innovation Program Manager. I get asked all the time, wait, so you were a political science major and a Spanish major, and now you work in AI? What do you do? And my best answer is I do everything and nothing. I'm a program manager. I make sure that we get things done on time. I make sure that folks are collaborating well and effectively together. I connect the experts in AI, in specific areas of AI like perception, fairness, to product development teams who are looking to incorporate those best practices. I read a really impactful book about the dangers of automating some levels of systemic inequality. And I think that really woke me up to not only the possibilities of AI, because I do consider myself a techno-optimist, but the ramifications of implementing AI without fully teaching folks and understanding for ourselves that implement it, what are the ramifications of these systems? Thinking about your own background and your own upbringing and where you come from and your culture, you have a certain set of experiences that led you to who you are and that serve as foundational to your core values and your core beliefs. Same thing exists for AI. So for instance, I'm from Southern California. I have a bias towards sunshine and perfect waves, right? I think a lot of people do, but I do in particular. Now, those human aspects might not be directly translatable to a machine learning model, but because you can equate experiences to data, machine learning models only can learn based off the data that they've ingested, whether it's through historical data sets or user feedback. If we can make these systems more representative of the users that they purport to serve, I think it will help serve more people. Something that I think about is what is the information that's going into those data sets? Who is being included and who is being excluded? Something I think a lot about is facial detection systems and social media sites. How well do those systems work for folks that look like me, who have more melanin-rich skin, or folks who might have even more melanin-rich skin? And does it work across the spectrum equally? Does it not work across the spectrum equally? I think we all have a personal responsibility when using these tools. I think the two things that you can do are check the outputs of whatever tool you're using, and if you're going to use new data ingested into the model, check the data. Make sure that it's inclusive, make sure that it's representative of the different communities that you hope to interact with. Get involved. Constantly give feedback on things that you don't approve of or that you do approve of, so that the groups that are creating these systems know how to improve. You've learned that it's important to be aware of the possible harms of AI tools. It's equally important to make sure you're equipped with the knowledge to make informed decisions about data, especially when it comes to privacy and security. Privacy is the right for a user to have control over how their personal information and data are collected, stored, and used. A variety of information is used to train AI models, including datasets and user inputs. For example, users might disclose private information during their interactions with an AI tool, and personal information might include names and addresses, medical records and history, and financial and payment information. If you're using an AI tool at your job, you might decide to include specific information about a project, stakeholders, or your clients in an AI prompt to make the output more specific to your task. But using an AI tool in this way can present a security risk. Security is the act of safeguarding personal information and private data, and ensuring that the system is secure by preventing unauthorized access. The majority of IT industry leaders believe generative AI might introduce new security risks, and that before an organization implements generative AI for the first time, the organization should put enhanced security measures in place. As the user, there are measures you can take to help protect your own privacy and security, as well as that of your organization, coworkers, and business partners. First, before you use an AI tool, be aware of its terms of use or service, privacy policy, and any associated risks. Consider how transparent an AI tool is about how it collects data from its users. Trusted AI tools are often built with robust security and privacy teams that have thoroughly considered all kinds of risks and have put effort into communicating those risks to users. Before accepting terms of service for a website or an app, be aware of what data is collected and how it might be used. Next, don't input personal or confidential information. Most AI tools function adequately without specific personal details. So while using AI, keep private information like your identity, your department's budget details, or email address private. Similarly, avoid putting confidential information into an AI tool to prevent the data from becoming available to a third party during a security breach or data leak. To personalize your outputs, you can always edit the details later. Many AI tools use encryption and other measures to help protect your information. But you should always make sure to protect your privacy. Finally, stay up to date on the latest tools. Knowing about new advancements in AI can help you understand risks as they come in. So if you plan on using AI frequently, make sure you're reading the latest articles from trusted news sources, scholarly and university publications, and subject matter experts. When it comes to AI, technology is progressing and changing almost daily. Luckily, security strategies are too. As you've learned, privacy and security are a huge part of using AI responsibly. And knowing how to keep your organization and yourself safe is an integral part of responsible AI.
Hi, my name is Jeline. This is my sign name, Jeline. I here work at Google for a little over 3 years now as a research analyst under the Responsible AI Human Central Technology Department. Part of my job is really just being able to continue to advocate for the Black South community and making sure that the community is heard. Majority of my time in my job is really dealing with products and tools that may not work for myself and analyzing how we can improve to make it better. We want to make sure that every individual are included when AI and products are being developed to make sure that there's no unconscious bias involved in the process. Right now, I am responsible for leading a project that's called Understanding Black South User, In this project, the goal is to really collect the Black Deaf experience and understand what it's like for them when products and AI is not working for them and what that looks like. It's very important because if you're looking right now into today's society, if you look at all the different industries who are trying to shift their focus on ASL and sign language recognition, but they are forgetting about the Black Deaf community too. I have had few people, know people who would say, I can't even use the product for myself. And if we have left out one person or two people, we still have a lot more work to do. AI really can help improve the life for the deaf community. For example, when we think about the deaf community, their language is sign language. But what happens when you come across a community or a population that doesn't know sign language? AI has the ability to bridge the communication to make sure that they're efficient and efficient communication. But it's very important to make sure that we're including as many representatives involved so that AI is accurate at all times. The more data we have, the more accurate the experience will be for all who will be feeling inclusive. You have Black deaf experts right now to advocate for the Black deaf community to be heard too. As you are taking this AI course and thinking about how you can make an impact in the world, it's going to be very important that not only learning the understanding of AI and machine learning too, but AI is going to require you to have to really think outside yourself. AI is not just for one person, it's for a huge population that we're trying to reach to make sure that everyone feels inclusive.
Hi, I'm Sean. I'm a research scientist at Google Research. I research the fairness and equality of AI, especially for marginalized groups like people with disabilities. The main reason I came to Google was to have impact on the technology that we use and the technology that's coming. My favorite part of this job is working with people, both the people on my team, but also in our research, we get to go out into the community and get feedback about what we can be doing better and how we should be thinking about the future of AI and how it's going to affect people. You know, if you think about how different people might engage with an AI system, one thing that you might consider is people will ask questions. What is life like for someone with a disability? What kinds of things do people with disabilities enjoy? And it's not clear what the right answer is to that kind of question. What should you say? And I think one of the things we want to avoid is to say, oh, that's a sensitive topic, so we can't answer that. From my perspective, that means we've lost because now we're missing out on opportunities to teach people and to be helpful to people. We want systems that work for everybody. You know, AI has to be for everybody. AI bias is a huge problem, and we have to solve it in many different ways, from data to algorithms to user interface. One way to address bias and harmful content is to make sure that our data sets are appropriate and are representative of a wide variety of people. A lot of the work that our team is doing is in helping to define guidelines for collecting data and to make sure that we have data that's representative of a wide variety of people, a wide variety of experiences, and a wide variety of perspectives. One way to keep on top of these issues is through having systems that are transparent. So being able to understand how AI systems work, what data they draw on, how they come to provide certain kinds of feedback. I think a huge part of learning to use AI is also applying critical thinking and not just taking the first answer you get, but really trying to understand why a particular answer came about. Right? I think about AI systems not as a tool to give you answers, but to help you get to answers. I use AI in my home life also. We, a couple weeks ago, used AI to help come up with a name for our pet. And so that was really helpful just as a muse and as a way to like generate some ideas and have a little bit of fun. Dr. Bones is the name of my cat, yeah.
Congratulations! You're almost done with this section of the course. You've discovered how responsible AI helps mitigate bias and avoid societal harms. Let's review some of those key points. First, you explored how systemic and data biases are reflected in AI models. Training or developing models with incomplete, outdated, or inaccurate data increases bias in AI systems. You examined the types of harms that are associated with AI, especially if AI tools are not paired with human abilities like critical thinking and responsible decision-making. Finally, you gained some tips for maintaining privacy and security when using AI. The best way to commit to using AI responsibly is to be vigilant about the risks of AI while enjoying its benefits. Think critically about how you use AI and the output you receive from AI tools. Share your awareness of potential biases with others. Staying up to date with the latest AI developments is also very important. AI tools are changing the world rapidly, but with new technology also comes risk. Understanding potential harms will help you consider learning how to use these tools responsibly. It's been great introducing you to the responsible use of AI. To continue learning, I encourage you to stay up to date on AI developments as part of Google AI Essentials.